So the New York Jets have won a football game. Listen, it took them, 15 weeks last year to do it. I guess 16 weeks last year to do it. Get it done in week 4 this year. So there you go. And listen, this was already a win for the Jets before they actually won the game. If they lose the coin toss in overtime, Ryan Tannehill throws a 75-yard touchdown. It is what it is. You lose, but at least Zach Wilson looked awesome. To me, that is the story of this game. Is Wilson, it took him a little bit to get going, and there still are some clunkiness, right? In fact, I think a good comparison you can make would be like a Josh Allen comparison, which, listen, not every play is going to be perfect. There's going to be some issues. And by Josh Allen, I specifically mean young Josh Allen, not current day Josh Allen, but even current day Josh Allen to some degree. It's just, can the good outweigh the bad? And there's no question the good by far and away outweighed the bad in this one. So let's get into the film study and the many things that Wilson did so well. All right, so let's just start off with this one. It's going to be zone coverage, and it's a designed rollout with Zach Wilson to the top of the screen. You have several routes going in that direction. This is something that the Jets have been doing a good amount of, right? They're trying to establish the run game and then be able to run these play actions off of it with a quarterback who does a great job at being able to, scramble out of the pocket. Right when this play starts, we're going to notice that. So really, it's not wide open. Honestly, Wilson could have tried to make this throw. I don't think it would have been a horrible decision for him to just make this throw, but there are defensive players over the middle, so I kind of understand why he doesn't want to. You see him, he's pointing, he's saying go deep. He sees that he potentially has a deep shot. It will be a one-on-one matchup, so that's why he is, abandoning what could be a 20-30 yard gain right here. He's going for the touchdown right here, and with his arm, it makes sense. Watch Wilson decide to fire this one, and it's just a perfect throw, quite frankly. You could argue maybe it should have been a little bit farther, but if it's too far, then the receiver is going to have a hard time making that catch. There's not much separation. He still does a great job of making that throw. This is what we saw at BYU, right? His ability to make these just jaw-dropping plays consistently. To me, this next one was even more impressive because this one was a lot less of a designed play. This was just kind of the way it worked out. It's going to be a 3rd down and 6 right here. And, it's the classic Jets thing that they had been doing all season, and they kind of finally got away from it sort of in the 4th quarter, which is why they scored so much more points, of running the ball on 1st and 2nd down and setting up 3rd down and 6s. Yes, I know you want to have a running game to help out your young quarterback, but it doesn't help out your young quarterback when you're not having a good running game. At that point, just give him more chances to go for the 1st down. Anyways, 3rd down and 6. The Titans are showing as though they could be blitzing right here, but they're actually not going to. It's going to drop back into a cover 3 zone, and watch what happens. Wilson takes the snap, and nothing gets open immediately, so he's going to scramble outside the pocket, right? This is kind of what you can do. This is something that a typical quarterback cannot do, but something that Zach Wilson can, and that's why you go out and spend the number 2 overall pick on him. Now, he's at a full sprint right here, so it's going to be difficult for him to be able to make a throw and put much power under it. But again, Zach Wilson makes these kind of difficult throws consistently. Watch him, while off balance, throw the ball 50 yards down the field with perfect accuracy. Again, this is what we saw in BYU all the time. People were freaking out about some of his poor footwork earlier on this season. It's like, trust me, it's fine. That's not the issue. The issue was guys weren't getting open. Give him a little bit of opening, and he's going to start making the play. And I also like what he did on this play of he got out of the pocket quickly. I want to see him do that more. When he does that, he's going to have a lot more success. Just make a decision a little bit quicker. We can also talk about this one. So speaking of make a decision a little bit quicker, usually what I mean is just if you're going to scramble quicker. That's kind of why he's had a good amount of sacks this season, among other things. The rest of the team around him, not just the line, but the receiving core creates that as well. But some of it has been on him as well. Although on this play, and I heard the announcer say that he should have thrown the ball quicker, I actually disagree, and here's why. So you see the concept. It's a good concept. It can work against this coverage. As you see, he's going to take the snap, scrambles out a little bit. That's what you're supposed to do. And while it appears to be open right now, the difficulty in making the throw right now is just look at all the traffic in front of him. There's, a defender who's not even getting blocked who could put his hands up and knock it away, not to mention a couple offensive linemen and a halfback. You kind of do have to wait a little bit to make this throw. There's just too much traffic in front. So here, Wilson's little hesitation actually was perfect right there and allowed that touchdown to happen. To me, that's not a bad play. That's exactly what you would want him to do. And also, we saw stuff like this, which this is just, it's crazy for two things. So the first thing to talk about is the play concept itself. You have a receiver running over the middle. There's it might have even supposed to have been a play action on this play. It looks like there was, and then you have a receiver run over the middle. That's how this works. The reason why I'm not sure if it's a play action is because they're never actually going to get to that step. Watch how there's a fumbled snap right there, but Wilson luckily gets it right back, and then is going to still stick with the play, make the throw, and this play worked. There's a receiver open, and this is kind of my whole thing about when receivers aren't getting open, every quarterback looks bad. When receivers are getting wide open, every quarterback looks good. I think Zach Wilson looked good even when there were plays where things didn't get open. But as a whole, this is just sort of why there's been some struggles earlier on. And reason for optimism is, hey, guys are starting to get open. Maybe it's just because you're playing the Titans, or maybe it's just because you had a really difficult first 3 weeks of defenses you had to play as well. Both could be possible, and I think they both are possible. Of course, there was this one, the one to sort of, get their chunk play in overtime, get them down to field. It's a zone coverage play, and it's a pretty simple concept. So it's cover 3 zone. The way this basically works is it's going to be the deep corner towards the top of the screen. That's going to determine what read Wilson should take. If he covers the player in the flat, Wilson should throw it deep. If he stays deep, Wilson should throw it to the flat. Pretty simple. So watch how Wilson takes this snap, and you're going to notice right here. So, okay, that player for Tennessee is moving further in, which means that Wilson should now throw the ball deep, right? You see how this works. And watch this throw. It's just a perfectly accurate throw down the field to get them a big chunk play. That's just, I keep saying it about Zach Wilson throws. It's a thing of beauty. You can't ask for anything better than that if you're a Jets fan. Just absolutely perfect. So yeah, his stat line is good, not insane, but good, of 21 for 34, 297 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. The interception, not really his fault. Maybe it was. I don't know. It's kind of a risky play anyways, but Corey Davis fell, so that made it look awful. Corey Davis was having an awful day to start and then really did kind of turn it around. Ended up with over 100 yards, so kind of one of those weird, starts off slow but finishes strong. And it really was those deep shots that worked well. There was still some issues, right? Like, I think about the 3rd down and 5, I believe it was, late in the game when they were trying to run out the clock. And it looked like Wilson just expected Davis to get to that spot quicker, which is what happened, which was, that didn't work out too well. There also was that weird 3rd down and goal play call where they kind of have a rollout, and it looked like it was just a quarterback run all the way. So just a little bit of, again, clunkiness here and there. But again, as a whole, this is a lot better than the first 3 weeks we saw with Zach Wilson and with this offense. We finally got to see some openings, some things work out well for Zach Wilson, and they won a football game, and I don't know if they win this game with Sam Darnold. I really don't. I'm not kidding when I say that. So absolutely very fun to watch. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What were your thoughts on this game, on Zach Wilson's performance? Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.